Hello and welcome once again to Hour 1. As always, I'm Charlie, and this time we'll be taking a look at The Last of Us Remastered for the PS4. So before I get going, a little backstory. When the PS3 version of this came out, the original Last of Us, I gave it a pass because at the time I just was overexposed, saturated, whatever you want to call it, to zombie games. I literally couldn't bring myself to play another zombie, despite all the amazing things I'd heard about this game, and I gave it a pass. And I'd always kind of felt, I've heard a lot of great things about the story, it looked really cool, but zombies, I just wasn't interested at the time. So, and with the Remastered Edition coming out, I was kind of on the fence of, it looked really cool when it was on the PS3, it looks gorgeous on the PS4, maybe I should check it out. And I had Greg also telling me constantly, you should pick this up, it's really good, the story is amazing, you'll feel stuff, you emotionless monster. So, obviously I have, and we're doing an Hour 1 for it. As always, I'll be playing the first hour of the game, and then giving my thoughts, impressions, generally my experience of the game so far, and whether I'll keep playing the game, which for a game like this may be a bit of an interesting one, and Greg, I sure to hell hope you're right. So with that being said, let's get to it. Yeah, I guess starting the timer now.
Dad? Daddy?
$5 he's watching.
You in here?
Riots seem to be somehow connected to the nationwide
Where the heck
pandemic.
are you?
We've received reports that victims afflicted with the infection show
Just
signs
nearby.
of increased aggression, and
Move everybody out of here now. There's a gas leak. Hey,
there seems to be some commotion coming from
get the hell out of here, right?
That's not good.
What was that?
Oh. Okay.
Dad?
Oh, mirrors work in this game. That's awesome. Or if they work later on in the game. Oh boy.
Come on, people, move!
What are they running from?
Get us out of here. I'm trying.
Oh no.
We can't stop here, Tommy.
I can't fucking drive through them, Joe! Back up there!
They're behind me, too!
There! Hold on! Go!
We are not gonna make that. We're gonna kill someone. Yep! Saw that one coming.
Get your eyes closed, honey!
Oh boy.
Keep running!
These people are on fire.
Don't look, Sarah.
Keep looking at me, baby.
I seem to move faster than the crowd, which kind of ruined the... Oh god, no. Yep, saw that.
He's dead! God damn it! We're almost there. We're almost there, baby.
They're getting through the fence!
Keep going! Find a way out of here!
Come on!
We picked a really bad spot to hold him.
Move it! Get to the highway! Go! You got Sarah! I can outrun him!
Uncle Tommy?
I will meet you there! Hurry!
Daddy, we can't leave him.
He's gonna be
Gonna
fine.
have to.
We're almost there.
Okay. So I'm probably, what, like 40 or something?
I'm coming.
Seems like more people are getting infected.
That just means
How did
more
that
people
building
sick.
fall sideways? No, seriously, how did that building fall sideways?
Fucking witch. Yeah. The way I
Got us all
heard it,
new
they line them up
papers.
in the street
They shouldn't
and
give
cut
us
'em
any
up.
static up there.
Retribution and shit.
Just play it cool.
Drive on through.
your business here?
Got the day off. Visiting a friend.
All right, we'll run through.
Thanks.
Yep.
Close it off! Firefly! Fucking shoot him!
Come on, let's go, come on. Looks like the coast is clear.
Attention. Checkpoint
Cool
5
mechanic
is now
with a quick
closed
turn.
until further notice.
Neat.
All civilians must clear the surrounding area.
Our backpacks are still here from last time.
Not a lot of ammo.
Make your shots count. All right, Texas. Boost me up.
Ain't been out here in a while.
It's like we're on a date.
Well, I am the romantic type.
You got your ways. Supposedly. Hold up. Spores.
Where the hell are all these coming from? The place was clear last time.
Coming out of something. Stay alert.
Why do they eat people? I get the impression these are.
Just be cool, man. Take it easy.
I'm gonna be seeing that a lot, aren't I?
Put him down, asshole. Just be cool, man. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Melee feels good. Melee feels real good. Fuck. Nice. Did it hurt? It's like it very close to being dead. Now I get it.
Damn. We missed all the action.
I'll get this one.
Waits
Go
for no
around
one,
and get the
Private.
Whatever.
Honestly. Brick?
All right, listen. Don't.
Oh, I'm so almost dead. Down. See how bad the check parts are. Oh. Alright, so that's obviously an hour. You heard the alarm go off. So, The Last of Us. I'm having a bit of a hard time summarizing this one. I've had to re-record this little section a couple times now, or I've had to restart at least. Because there's a lot here I like, and a lot here I am kind of wary of, don't like, I'm afraid of, that if I didn't know anything about this game, I'd be real frustrated with it at this point in time. So, gotta start with what I like, and then we'll go to the bad, and we'll come back to the like, probably. So, what I like is the presentation and design. The sound, the color, the setting, all that stuff's been amazing. This kind of nice, overgrown apocalypse as opposed to blasted out, nothingness apocalypse. It's a really nice twist on the survival genre, and even survival horror to a certain, and especially in the post-apocalyptic setting. The sounds, I've been talking about this a lot lately, I feel. The sounds are amazing. The little dinging sound they made when someone drops something important, the gunfire, the whole listening in to locate guys and it kind of blurring out the sounds of the environment, you listening specifically for motion and stuff like that. Genius and well done gameplay mechanics. Even the presentation of things like melee fights, that the brutality of them is amazingly well done, feels just choreographed in a beautiful degree. It's getting to the bad. I just wish the combat lived up to the presentation of the game. The stealth mechanics have been a tad, I don't know, inconsistent for my preference. They feel inconsistent because sometimes I feel I should get seen and sometimes I feel I shouldn't get seen, but I do, and vice versa, and I hate when this happens in stealth games. It's the real annoyance for me. And maybe I'll get used to the rules as the game goes on, but the fact that in this kind of opening tutorial, which in theory I should be coasting through for more or less, I keep getting caught up in a did I get seen, did I not get seen scenario. Not great. That also being said, certain parts of the combat are great, like the punching, the melee attacks, the stealth. Once you get a guy in a stealth hold, the fact that you have the option of quick stab, knockout, or use him as a human shield. I'm guessing at some point you maybe even know, like, the force guys to leave rooms with him or something. Great system. I wish the guns worked as well. It really feels like someone tied 4 or 5 ropes to Joel's arm and is pulling the rope at random. He's kind of right before I fire, and I've heard somewhere, and this is where I'm glad I've heard some stuff about this game, I've heard there's a talent tree of some kind in this game that you can do stuff like make him able to shoot straight, hit the broadside of a barn that gets rid of that whole weird waviness. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I'm going out of my way to not use the gun, not because I'm preferring stealth, but because I'm not sure I can hit anything consistently, and bullets seem to be a tad on the scarce side. But that being said, The melee system's fantastic. It's brutal, it's over the top, it feels gritty and dark and post-apocalyptic, which is what I've always wanted out of a secondary melee system in a game like this. Like, the Uncharted franchise, which is very similar kind of combat-esque to this game, use some of the mix of melee, stealth, and gunfire, had great combat, but it never quite felt as gratifying as this is. When you beat someone to death with your fists, you get some, like, nice finishing move, you slam his face into a wall or something, and oh god, does it feel good in the worst way possible. And while I'm on the topic of comparing this to Uncharted, the best example I've got of a good comparison is the combat of both feels not quite as polished as it should be. And I know I'm harping on the combat a lot, but I get the impression it's got to be actually a pretty big part of this game, just like it was in Uncharted. Both games had beautiful, mind-blowing presentation, phenomenal writing, compelling characters, great sound, great lighting. All the design and kind of story and narrative aspects were phenomenal. The gameplay never quite fully worked in my view. It always had some little glitchiness to it, and you learn to compensate for it, but it never felt as fluid and perfect as the rest of the game did. And maybe it gets better as the game goes on, as I maybe unlock some skills or something like that, but I'm real worried about this game having that same issue where by the end, it's not that I've gotten better at the game, I've just learned to cope with the game's idiosyncrasies. So with that all being said, the hour I've played of this game has made it clear that an hour of this game is a horrible way to talk about this game. I haven't even met the little girl, I believe her name's Ellie, you wind up hooking up with to get her somewhere, I guess. I'm not even really outside the city. The section I was outside the city made me excited to be outside the city. This will probably definitely get a post-mortem of some kind, just so I can confirm or deny what I finally thought of it, because I feel like I haven't even really scratched the surface of this game. Like, there's still stuff being introduced, and I'm okay with that, because I am actually really interested in it. And maybe a small complaint on this would be, I'd like the story to hook me a little bit more. The story's taken a really long time to get going, and I felt they spent a little bit too much time setting up the zombie apocalypse, especially because I don't need to know why the zombie apocalypse happened. You could have just shown me the main character, I believe his name's Joel, running towards safety and stuff happening, and that's why he is the way he is going on kind of thing. You didn't have to make me fight through a crowd to get to that point, which, while we're on that topic, that opening segment of the game, while beautiful and I'm sure moving to some, did nothing except make me want to stop playing this game, because it was full of moments of the crowd moving slower than I was, and I was bumping and trying to force people out of my way that looked like they were running and screaming and waving their hands all around like a frantic mob, and it didn't feel natural, it didn't flow, and it didn't build tension. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, it's the zombie apocalypse, I've done this before. Yes, I got my daughter with me, I'm trying to take care of her, but there weren't stakes for me, if that makes any sense. Maybe a little more preamble, maybe a little bit more in the day in the life of it. I don't know, but that opening segment isn't good in my view. And that might be a problem for some people, because it does introduce you kind of early on to, this game's beautiful, the story is great. The gameplay, though, has some moments. But with that all being said, I would absolutely pick this up. I only picked up this edition because Greg kind of said, you need to play this game, you need to play this game, you need to play this game, you deserve to play this game, it's got an amazing story, and it's a good narrative, and I do love my narrative. If you haven't picked up this game yet, get it for the PS4 if you can. I'm assuming it looks a little bit better. The fact it's running in 60 frames a second is just a good thing. You should encourage 60 frames a second. Not to fall back on reviews and other stuff I've heard, if you already own the game and you have all the DLC for it or whatever, I don't think you need to pick this one up. If you're looking for something that's a little different, this might be the game for you. I certainly am enjoying the fact that it's kind of action-y, but stealthy, but horror-y, but survival-y, all at the same time, because that doesn't happen really all that well in some games. And with that being said...